Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Helping players all over the world right now, having a lot of fun doing it. Feel so fortunate that that's what I get to do. If you're interested to get your game to the next level, make sure you check out the obsessgolfclub.com. There's a wait list on there. Sign up for the wait list. That's going to get you into the queue for when there's availability into the program. Quite a bit of a discount on the regular hourly coaching to help players get better, get to the next level. We've had some amazing breakthroughs from highest club speed ever to a couple players shooting in the 60s for the first time. So things like that, super exciting. Doesn't matter your skill level, just as long as you love to get better at this game and you're obsessed. That's sort of my prerequisite to signing up to that wait list. So make sure you check that out. Love to help you get your game to the next level. Okay, so for today, this is again inspired by some of the coaching that I've done over the last couple months, some similar patterns with some different players. Sequencing in the golf swing sometimes gets a bad rap, and to me it's how you're looking at your sequence and what you're prioritizing, right? So obviously when you're thinking of sequence, I would say most players who have been informed by this topic, they're thinking, okay, pelvis is moving, then chest, then lead arm, then hand, then club. Okay, so that's sort of our sequencing of the downswing. Okay, but I think we can actually go a little bit more specific in what that means, because I think when someone says, okay, use your lower body to start your downswing, or use your pelvis to start your downswing, there's more steps to it than just move your pelvis or move your hips, okay? But I do think we need to refine what we're talking about when we're talking about transition and when we're talking about sequencing, okay? So for players, I had three players in the last month that have struggled with this. And the important thing was just making sure their concepts were correct. So when we're going up to the top, when we're looking at sequencing, okay, there's a factor in lateral motion, there's a factor in sort of torque of how I'm producing it, and then vertical. So that's part of the sequencing too, not just move my pelvis, okay, or move this first. So when I get up to the top, if I'm being more specific in what I'm thinking about, as I go back, I'm elevating slightly, like in the sense of my trail hip is moving up, my lead hip is moving down. I've created a nice stored energy position at the top of my backswing. If I just go spin, so this is sort of that idea that both of these players had. They would actually go like this. Both legs would end up very straight very quickly. So to me, that's almost, we're adding the vertical motion too quick, okay? So when we're looking at that downswing, we can think about unweighting or lowering, or potentially like adding softness to the legs, right? So what that looks like is if I went here and I created a reflex, especially of my trail knee, that's going to allow me, one, I get lighter when I do that. Actually, even though I'm going down, I'm getting lighter if you're thinking about forces. But the other thing that it allows me to do is if I get to here, now when I go to push, so obviously this is pushing out of the way, I've created a pretty big rotation or torque with this leg, so that hip can actually start to extend, okay? So for players that go straight legs early, so that vertical motion early, they always have a tough time sort of pushing up and getting to that good finish position because they've used all that vertical motion too quick in their downswing, okay? So this is the idea that I get up to the top, I get here, and then I can create that lowering or get a little bit lighter, and then from there I can push and extend as I hit it. So it's gonna look like this as I go. Okay, so when I do that, what happens is I'm creating a little bit more stored energy as I go into that sort of lowering or unweighting position. And then from there, I can start to push and extend as I come through because my sequencing is correct. So that's how I'm thinking about sequencing. I'm not thinking it's just, okay, can I move my pelvis first? Because I think that's sort of a vague way to think about it. So I think if we're a little more specific, but I think that would be a good way to start is, can you get to the top? And then what's it like to create that sort of unweighting or reflexing of that trail leg, just a small reflex, and then I can push and extend up. You're gonna find the rotation easier. You might even find your balance improves with doing that drill. So that's, to me, a different way to look at sequencing, but I think a very clear way to help you refine that first move of transition. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.
If you are obsessed with this great game and want to be part of the club, make sure you check out theobsessgolfclub.com and join the waitlist.